and welcome to my first Champion League game versus Zhang, who is a very creative person, as you can see by his name, and we'll have a chance to check how creative he really is during this hopefully interesting game. What do we have here? Okay, pretty high odds. Some annoying events, but manageable. 2 scorings, which is a little more than I would prefer. Suez Crisis, which is a potentially dangerous headline for my opponent if I can roll well in Iran. Goes for 3-3 setup, which is very rarely spotted. Alright, that's actually annoying. It's surprisingly annoying. Now Suez Crisis is worse than it could be. And I don't really know what to expect. Is it Purge? Maybe he's holding Socialist and he's purging me, so he's not really afraid. If I drop Europe, it's kind of not taking any advantage of the fact that he put only 3 ops into Italy. If I go for Suez Crisis, I'm wasting the potential, because I'm not going to kick him out of the Middle East. I can still kick him out of the part of the Middle East though. Let's try it. Shit. Of course. Alright, I guess I'm going for the Italy coup anyway, it's a 50-50. And of course I fail. Alright. So that didn't go well. So I guess I will try to drop Europe ASAP and then get Middle East presence and drop it ASAP as well. That will be the plan for return. Unfortunately, I don't have a chance to do much more than that with the circumstances that I was faced with. It would be great if I could space before he does, but there is pretty much no way that will happen with so many obligations in my hand. Okay. That absolutely does not matter. Sure. Now let's drop Europe, since it's definitely not going to get better ever. And I don't want to be sitting with 2 scorings in my hand. He can pretty much do whatever he wants in Asia. I have no ability to stop him. Unless he enters Thailand now, then I guess I can use China to cool it. Alright, he does that. So there is no reason to rush with space as well, because got it too. So now what I would like to do is grab some presents in the Middle East and probably enter South Korea. Um, sure. I guess I will be using his European unrest for that. Yeah, I will probably get Comecon or Warsaw Pact someday. They pretty badly need ups. So let's take Syria and let's go into South Korea. This point in South Korea is kind of artificial. You usually want to put it there so that he can't capture South Korea after resolving and winning Korean War. But in this case, if he resolves Korean War and wins it, or loses it for that matter, he can just put ops into South Korea and I won't be able to stop him because I have notes to do it. But it's at least buying me time, and it's never a wasted op. He has to figure out how to get mid-ups. So I expect him to coup Iraq. And it's actually interesting because he kind of doesn't have a healthy way of lowering the defcon to the level of 2. And if he can do that, that means that he can really enter Thailand in a way that won't allow me to coup it either this turn or next turn. So I guess that's an asset on my side, which is not a big one, but I don't have many of those, so I guess I should appreciate it. Okay, he has duck and cover. So that means that at least he won't be using it as an event. Now he should probably coup Iraq to secure Pakistan. He has to do it anyway, so he can just as well do it now. Aggro, that's annoying. I would prefer it. Actually, at least it gives me access to Algeria, so I guess I won't be crying over it. Let's space Marshall since I don't have anything to do. I mean, I have some things to do, but I am going to space Marshall anyway. No way I'm giving it up, and I prefer to space it right now when I am playing cards which are weakened by purge, and to do it next turn. Of course, he gets socialist, it was obvious because of his setup, so that makes sense. I guess now I can just enter South Korea with more ops. Theoretically, I could, instead of doing that, I could overprotect North Korea so that he doesn't get to break North Korea now. But I don't think I care. An op in South Korea is generally worth more, and there are some cards that let me fix my Asian presence, and that is all assuming that he will get Asia scoring, so I guess I am willing to take that risk. And he has Kameko, sure, so that's an A4 up for him, which he will have to figure out a way to spend. I think he will coup North Korea. That's probably what he will just do. That's a mistake, I think. You get more from removing. Maybe. I mean, it's. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just me, but that feels kind of wrong. He didn't even let himself have a shot at removing my Asian presence and securing a huge VP boost. It didn't really matter because fortunately he failed this time, but he would have done it differently. Okay, this is a really, really weak hand. It's pretty terrible. However, it has in the Pakistani war, which is a chance of something good happening. Do I want to coup Pakistan? I don't think so. Do I want to coup Malaysia? Okay, I'm going for Fidel, probably. Or am I? Maybe I should just go for Indo-Pakistani war right away. Or maybe I shouldn't. I'm torn on that. Hmm. I have no good cards to coup Pakistan with unless I'm giving up the China card. And if I'm giving up the China card, I'm giving up Thailand. If I'm going Pakistan, I'm giving up Thailand because I have zero access to any place except Fidel, which is kind of useless. So I have to choose between trying to coup Pakistan and trying to coup Malaysia. Maybe I should just go for Indo-Pakistani war into Pakistan and then try couing Malaysia. And that gives me a chance at doing something in Asia. And I don't know where the CIA is, so maybe I don't want to event Fidel. Yeah, let's go for Indo-Pakistani war. Sure. Of course. Let's try. Of course. Okay, so none of that works. I lost my access to Algeria, which sucks as well. By the way, of course I had an opportunity to enter Algeria, but I didn't want to give him coup targets and I wanted to force him to go Iraq or Korea. So that's, in case you wondered why I didn't capture Algeria immediately, for example, with containment, that's the reason. I don't think I said it, so that was my reasoning. And of course I couldn't know that he would have Truman. Unfortunately he got it. I think he's going to lower the DEFCON again, because like, why would he let me pull Malaysia again? And then he wants to go for like India and Malaysia, but that would be weird. Yeah, and since I had in the Pakistani war, firstly he wants to. He now knows that my only way of getting Pakistan is basically calling it, so he doesn't want that to happen. He doesn't have Indo-Pakistani war, so he doesn't have another source of milops than couing something, so he has to do that anyway, so he can just as well do it now. I think he will just coup, and he will probably coup Iraq, and now couing Iraq is probably the correct play. Unless he is stuck with some low red cards. No, he's stuck with NATO. That's not a low red card. Uh-huh. Okay. That's interesting. So I guess I'm couing with China. That worked. It was risky, of course, but he left me no choice, basically. I had to do it. And I'm glad it worked because Jesus Christ. Alright. Um, now there are two things he may be trying to do. First is capturing Laos, second is cooing. Probably still Iraq, because what else would he do? Okay, he goes for Laos and probably India. That makes sense. So I will take this opportunity to coup again, stay in Panama. And that works. So it's not that bad. Of course, it has its downside, which is uh, the fact that CIA is now not playable, despite me not having used Fidel yet. However, duck and cover is gone, so so in the worst case scenario, I will just let him coup AR1. Okay, the question is, if he, for example, goes to space with Deagle now, do I try spacing something or do I allow him to go twice? Well, Freshare Plan is gone, which is somewhat annoying because it's another good free up he got, which is a pretty unfair advantage so far. But at least that means that I will probably not die to Defcon. Let's take South Korea because that's an additional VP. And let's go to Saudi Arabia. Uh, so... So that if he is forced to coup Iraq or he gets to do it for some reason or he realigns me, it's harder for him to kick me out of there. Let's see what he does. There are like 12 cards I didn't see yet, and 8 of those are red. 2 of those red cards are D cards. I would love to see some of them, because I'm not doing great so far. UN, and he's playing it for influence. It probably means that he has D-Stall in hand, because why else would he do that? Alright. I mean, it's not really alright, but what can I do? At least it's a 1-up for him. Not impressive. Oh, so he discards D-Stall with that? Okay, that's really good. That means, I mean, it's not good that he got D-Stall, but that means I will have a chance of redrawing it before, I mean, after the reshuffle. So, I guess it could have been worse. I managed to hold defectors, which is not the worst thing for me. Get them involved. Yeah, that's of course a reasonable play. At least I get the Milops. Wow. And I don't get a single free up, a single 4-up, other than US Japan I already had, and I get the CIA. That's great. The only good news is that I got decall, and now I wonder what I should do with it. Huh. Alright, so there are basically two options. I could either. Wait, I don't even have a good headline like other than decal. Like there's literally nothing I get from Romanian application. Of course I don't have diesel, so I can use it as fuel, and I have fuel anyway. Olympic Games can potentially kill me if he has DAG, and even if he doesn't have DAG, I can still like just lose to the Olympic Games event. Uh, I guess I'm going for decal, and let's see what happens. Maybe he's Jesus Christ. Okay. Uh, at least I didn't go for Olympic Games. Wow. Okay, so those three are mandatory basically. Like there's nothing else I can do besides that. I mean, but there's nothing better I can get for the value of free ops than that. So that's obvious. What to do with the last point? This is basically Indonesia or Laos or Algeria or Tunisia, maybe? The question is, can he force me to give him mid-ups? Because he's of course threatening to capture Libya, so a potential play is putting an op from Decal into Tunisia and grabbing Libya, Zaire, and Angola with US Japan. And that basically equalizes Asia forever and gives me a nice position in Africa and a decent position in the Middle East. But that gives him a coup of Tunisia. So instead I could go for Laos, Cambodia. But the thing is, I don't have a playable card, which is of higher value than 2. So if I wanted to take Laos from him, I would still need to use US Japan. So I guess I could put this up into Indonesia. But then my country count is 5, and he will easily equalize it every time he wants to. And I have no power to fight for more. And going to Algeria doesn't give me much. And even if I take Algeria, he can threaten to align me and probably succeed. So I guess I have to just go for Tunisia and take that, and take that, and get over the fact that he will just get a coup. And well, I have so many useless cards in hand that I can probably make use of that situation and coup something too, because like, what am I going to do with Romania abdication? I can coup Horan stays with it, that's at least something. It can turn over a country, it's not useless. So I guess that's the best I can do. Of course, the thing is that now if he redrew not only that, but if he also redrew 5-year plan, he can kill me, but that's not something I can protect myself from. So I hope that doesn't happen. That's probably the best I can do. Hmm. To be fair, his hand isn't. I mean, the cards I know he has are not that great either. They are just a little bit better. I mean, well, maybe they're not. Maybe just the cards that were left were bad. Except, of course, the Warsaw Pact that he got. But that's fine. Truman is gone, so I guess I will just go for Yugoslavia. Because why not? He has independent red, so of course he's not gonna invent them. What is he going to do with the Warsaw Pact now, though? It's not obvious. The ironic thing is that he can basically turn Zaire or Angola over with it, and I have absolutely no way to react to that because I don't have an appropriate card. The question is, does he know that? He knows that I have CIA, he knows that I have Romanian, he knows I have Formosan and defectors. He doesn't know the special relationship and Olympic Games. So I guess he may try. Okay, he doesn't. Okay, that's a peaceful play. I like it. I will use this opportunity first to get rid of special before he goes into UK, and secondly, I will take care of Nigeria and Zaire. Or do I care? After he took Greece, he has no reason to go into UK. So maybe I will use a card that I that he knows I have, which is defectors, and not do that. And I will use this. I could also use Formosan so that if he plays China this turn, it stops working. But the thing is that after I was forced to give him Japan, kind of forced, after I gave him Japan, giving him Formosan is kind of dangerous because that could of course give him domination in Asia if he happened to get another free up to take Taiwan with. So I'm not sure if I want to do that because he has three cards I don't know of, and it could easily be like, I don't know, NATO and Asia scoring, I guess. Why not? Of course, playing a 2-up and overprotecting 2 out of 3 battlegrounds in Africa that need overprotection is kind of suspicious, and it kind of points to the weakness. But also, Angola is a country which I can get back later in the game with some favorable events. So I guess it kind of makes sense that I would still feel secure about getting it back. And I don't have a better target than this Angola, so I guess it just wouldn't be much of an issue if he took it. So that's why he probably shouldn't feel suspicious about it. Now I can overprotect it well. And probably on my next move I will just go Saharan States because what else am I gonna do? Of course, giving up US Japan out of all bad things that this causes for me, among them is the fact that he has Korean War and he can now play it in a safer manner. However, I'm not. Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. However, I'm not sure if he's not gonna space it anyway to get the piece from it. So I guess that didn't really matter. It's just unfortunate that he hits that rock. But that happens. Let's see what he does now. He has 4 cards, of which I know Nasser. I know also Arab-Israeli War, I guess. Okay. And let's try that. I think. Yeah, let's try that. I could of course also overprotect the Koreas now, since the Korean War is gone. But I think there are other things I am interested in doing more than trying to secure Asia more. And well, in the Pakistani war is back in the deck, so who knows? Maybe I will draw it and succeed this time. I don't see any chance of getting a domination there in the long run. Oh god, he got NATO. And he breaks that, and there is not much I can do, so I guess I will try realigning him. Alright. Sure. I didn't see that coming. That's a good play by him. It's really annoying. But, well, he got exactly what he needed, and I guess he used his assets well. Mm, that's another shitty hand, but it has D-style. So I guess this is the card I will try to work with. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, that's that's a, that's another thing that I can't really counter in any way. I guess I would try something like this. What is the best setup? Because I'm surely going for. Maybe I shouldn't take everything from there. Let's go for something like that. I surely should focus on South America. Like, in what way? I don't want it to make. I don't want to make it too easy for him to just put Junta into one battleground and, or maybe this is the way to go. Let's see what he does. I think this is a pretty okay setup. Of course, Europe scoring is a terrible card to get. Not much I can do to fight for it. I guess that's another moment during which I can give props to my opponent, of fucking course. Because that Greece takeover. I mean, the fact that he took Greece really didn't leave me much room to fight for Europe. So I guess that's a good play on his part, despite it being kind of counterintuitive to take a non-battleground in Europe while Marshall Plan has still not been played. Okay, sure. Let's try it now. Okay, it doesn't work. That's a pretty hopeless fucking game. Unfortunately, I'm going to give him John Paul. Well, he plays Nasser already. That kind of looks like he has Sadat. He probably does. I don't even have a free up to take it back. I guess I'm dropping Europe. There's nothing that can happen that will let me improve the situation there, so I will just get rid of an obligation from my hand, I guess. um, alright, sure. I guess then I'm going for North Korea, since basically the only reasonable alternative to going for North Korea would be to go for South Africa, and of course Asia is scored. That's why I wasn't rushing with going for North Korea. Um, However, in Africa, firstly, he can't really get South Africa without being open to realignments. Secondly, I can still get advantage there with South African unrest, so I don't need to take it all by myself. Thirdly, taking South Korea doesn't really change the power balance in Africa. Jesus, taking South Africa doesn't really change the power balance in Africa. It's still my domination. While taking North Korea by me changes the situation in Asia. It makes the draw. So I guess North Korea is a more valuable target than South Africa. Okay. Now I guess I will go for South Korea, and I need to one remaining drop into South Africa. Alright, so excuse me for this short break. Just took 3 DPs from arms race. There's nothing I can do with that, so let's space colonials, since I'm surely not giving them up. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I don't care about Europe anymore, so I can finally capture South Africa. One small step is gone, so I'm not getting advantage on space track anytime soon. Alright. And he has it. Okay, first time in this game I actually got a reasonable hand. The vectors are still gone, so I guess I could purge him. ABM is a useful card whenever I play during the turn. Missile Envy is risky, and it's probably still worse than the purge. And giving him a 2-op to play is probably not something that would make him cry over it. You can just use it to Kusai or Angola, and he'll be fine, because of course due to the bird traffic as Veku. Of course OAS and CIA at once are a pretty terrible combination, but okay, let's see. Uh-huh, sure. Okay, so let's see if he has central. Okay. That was a rhetorical question. Seems we didn't need uh, 60 minutes per player. Uh, what was a mistake that I made this game? I'm not sure. Maybe not overprotecting Asia was actually. I mean, I don't know if it. Maybe I should have overprotected Korea's immediately after he spaced Korean War. I felt that I had no option to do that, but maybe that was the way to go. I even said that he may have Asia scoring, but then I just ignored it. However, uh, yeah, so maybe the lesson learned is that actually me not having played for Mosander didn't mean that he can get domination in Asia. I'm not sure how much that changed the course of the game, but that's something to remember, I guess. Well, never mind. Finally, a video that will be less than an hour long on my channel, so I guess that's something to celebrate. Thanks for watching it. I will see you next time.